Alright y'all, welcome back to the channel and to some more turkey patterning. And I've got another combination out here today that we haven't tried yet, with a shell that we haven't shot on the channel yet either, but it's definitely a shell that I've taken multiple turkeys with. So I'm definitely excited to see what it can actually do on a real turkey target, rather than just a scribbled on drawing of a turkey on the side of a cardboard box or something, which is how I've tested it before. So as for the shell that we've brought out here today, I got some of these, the Winchester Supreme Extended range high density turkey shells. These are a 12 gauge 3-inch 1 3/4 ounce of lead 6s going 12.25, and like I mentioned, I have taken several turkeys with these, and from the little bit of basic testing I've done with them, they seem to be pretty decent. And as for the setup we're going to be using, it's kind of the other half that I've used multiple times for multiple turkeys with these shells, that being my Remington 1187 Premier here with this choke. And it's been a little while since we've seen this one on the channel, but this is my Kicks Gobblin Thunder 655 constriction. So a little bit tighter than your more common 660, 665 chokes, but for lead 6s, this choke has really done me well over the years. So we should see a pretty decent looking pattern here today. So as for the test, it's going to be the same as usual. I have a turkey target down at 40 yards. I also have the chronograph, so we'll see what kind of velocity we're getting and how close it is to the 1225 that's on that box. So let's get you guys to view this target. I'll head up and take the shot. Then of course we'll glance at what we got for a chrono number, and then we'll go down and see how they performed. So let's head over here and shoot these shells and see what kind of performance we can actually get on a real turkey target out of a combination that I have used for a number of years now. Alright, so that shell gave us 1285 through the chrono. The box was calling for 1225, so we got a little bit over that. So they're moving a little bit faster than right around that 1200 to 1225 range that I typically like to see, but 1285 is not bad by any means. So even though we saw a little bit above what the box was claiming, it's definitely nothing that I would call out of the ordinary. But how did they actually shoot down at 40 yards? Let's go take a look and see. Alright, so now we're downrange here at our 40-yard target, and this is what we got here. And we do absolutely have a dead turkey. There's one in the brain up there and 3 or 4 or 5 more down the spine. So definitely a dead bird. And there is a large number of pellets swarming right around his head there. So definitely that turkey could not have made it through that area right there without getting a pellet in some kind of a vital area, that's for sure. Now backing up here and looking at the rest of the pattern, definitely not too bad for what that load is. I mean, this is kind of one of the predecessors to the longbeard loads, so it definitely doesn't necessarily shoot as well or compare as well to the longbeard load of 6s, but for when this load came out and when it was popular, I mean, you can't really argue too much with that. Even today, that's still a lot better than some of the other big box store, big name brand type of lead turkey loads. I can tell you that right now. So definitely not a bad pattern whatsoever. Now the edges are definitely a little bit more open than some of the modern longbeard loads are. We do see some flyers around the outskirts here, but is that the shell or is that the Kicks 655? I don't know. I think we should test this through a little bit more open of a choke and see what happens as well. But either way, I really don't have too many complaints about that pattern right there. I definitely wouldn't be scared to take that into the woods after a turkey. It gave you a nice core area there where you've got plenty of pellets to hit a vital area of that turkey, and it gave you enough leeway to where if you weren't lined up perfectly for your shot, it would still absolutely get the job done. So overall here, definitely not a disappointment. Okay, and here's the wad out of that shell, and as you can see, it does look very similar to what you would find in a load of longbeards today. However, this one has kind of a clearish, greenish hue of a color to it, which is pretty interesting, and I don't think I've seen a wad this color out of any turkey loads yet. But overall here, not really anything too special to see. Nothing stuck down in there. We do have one tiny little pinhole or two right around the edges here, but nothing that I would be concerned with at all. So overall, nothing really too special to take note of on this one. Alright y'all, well, what did you think about that pattern right there? For what that shell is, I really don't have too many complaints about it. I mean, just look at the spread of pellets right there on that actual turkey paper. That turkey's not going to make it through that. So that would absolutely be able to take a turkey out to 40, 45 yards, no doubt about it. So overall here, I can't really complain too much about that. Now, can we get a little bit better or maybe a little bit more condensed pattern, like around the outskirt edges? Maybe, if we try it through another little bit different choke. But with that being said, what might be a choke combination that you would want to see? I don't have very many of these shells left, so we have to make the most of what we have. So if there's a choke that you know they perform well through, then by all means let me know, and if I've got it, then we'll bring it out here and test it. But at the end of the day, what do you guys think about it, and what has been your experience with these shells if you have used them? Like I said earlier, I've had the chance to take several turkeys over the last several years with these shells, and they have always done the job for me through that same setup that we ran today. So as usual, leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comments and let me know what you think about them. But with that being said, I've got a couple more tests to get done for you guys, so I'm gonna jump back to it. We do have an Instagram now as well, where you can go over there and see a few sneak peeks and stuff every so often of what we're up to. So I'll leave that link in the description if you would like to go over there and check it out. But on that note, I'm gonna get back to it, so I'll see y'all in the next one.